So, what does it really take to make it when it feels like everything's against you? We're about to dive into a really incredible speech from former President Barack Obama. He gave it to students, and it's a message that just cuts through all the noise to talk about what actually matters: struggle, taking responsibility, and, figuring out what you're here to do. And right out of the gate, he starts with this: talk about being vulnerable. This isn't some president talking down from his stage. This is a person sharing something that really hurt. By just admitting his own messy start, he's instantly connecting with any student out there who feels like they're starting a few steps behind everyone else. And that really sets up the first big idea of this whole speech. That struggle isn't something you should be ashamed of. Actually, it's where you build your strength. The message is, hey, hardship is something we all go through. It's not a wall designed to stop you. This story, wow, it's just so vivid, right? His mom, a single parent, is waking him up at 4:30 in the morning for extra lessons. It's not some glamorous picture. It's a real, raw look at the incredible sacrifice and pure grit it takes to invest in a future. It wasn't a picnic for anyone. It was a priority. And he's quick to point out, hey, this isn't just about me. He brings in the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, whose parents worked so hard for her, even though they never went to college themselves. He's showing that this is a classic American story. Overcoming the odds is kind of baked into the country's DNA. And this is where the speech gets super real. He starts listing these specific, tough things that students might be dealing with. This isn't some abstract lecture, it's grounded in reality. It's his way of saying, I see you, I get it. And that's so important before you ask people to step up. But then, and this is the key, there's a pivot. After showing all that empathy, the message flips to personal responsibility. It's this crystal clear statement. Where you come from does not get to decide where you're going. It's a direct challenge to take the wheel of your own life. Okay, so you're in charge of your own path. But where does that path lead? What's it all for? This is where the speech just explodes outward, connecting your personal education to something so much bigger. And he kicks this whole idea off with a question that just kind of stops you in your tracks. It's meant to make you pause and really think about all the potential you have inside you, the person you haven't even met yet. And this is such a cool way to think about it. It shows how that tiny little thing you do today, that English paper you're putting off, could be the first step to writing a bestseller. That science fair project, it could be the spark for a vaccine that saves millions. He's drawing a straight line from your desk at school to literally changing the world. It's like this ripple effect, What you'll learn in class doesn't just get you a job. It gives you the tools to go out and tackle the biggest problems we face as a country. Your education isn't just for you. It ripples out and affects everyone. And then, bam, he hits you with this line. This completely changes how you think about dropping out or just giving up. Suddenly, it's not just a personal choice. It's bigger. The stakes just got raised. A lot. Okay, so the stakes are massive. We get that. But how do you actually do it? How do you succeed? Well, this next part gets down to the nitty-gritty, and let me tell you, it's not what you see on Instagram or reality TV. Oh man, I love this part, because it just calls out all the myths we're constantly fed about success, right? The real deal isn't some overnight miracle. It's hard, and you're not going to love every single minute of it. You won't like every class, and you know what? That's totally fine. That's normal. All right, so what are we looking at here? Just the number 12. Kind of random, right? What's that about? It's sitting there holding a story. It's this, 12. That's how many times J.K. Rowling's first Harry Potter book got rejected before a publisher finally said yes. It is the perfect example of how even history-making success is usually built on a pile of failures and just refusing to quit. And just to really drive this point home, he brings in a legend, Michael Jordan, maybe the greatest of all time, says the reason he succeeded wasn't in spite of his failures, it was because of them. That totally flips our whole idea of what it takes to win. So here's the big takeaway, right? Failure isn't a dead end. It's not proof that you're bad at something or not smart enough. It's just information. It's a teacher. The speech is basically saying, let your mistakes teach you. Listen to them. And hey, you don't have to go through all this alone. This piece of advice is so important. It takes real courage to admit you don't know something and ask for help, but it's also the absolute fastest way to get better. So, you take all that personal grit and determination, and then the speech zooms out, way out. It connects your personal story to this huge historical call to action. It's about finding your place in the long story of what's come before. The whole idea here is that the American story isn't about giving up. It's a story written by generations of people who faced impossible odds and just kept going. They pushed through to build something new. And this is where it all comes together. It's like a highlight reel of history, showing you that students have always been at the center of changing the world. And then it lands right on that last word, you. It's this incredibly powerful way of looking you in the eye and saying, all right, you're up.
So what he's really saying is that this is a partnership. It's a deal. The adults in your life, your teachers, your country, we have a job to do, to give you the tools, the safe schools, the opportunities. But you have to do your part too. You've got to show up and do the work.
And the whole speech, this entire powerful message, it all lands right here. Not with some neat little answer, but with a question aimed right at you. After all that, after explaining the stakes and the history, it leaves you with this one challenge. It's not just about what job you'll get, but what you'll give. What's your contribution going to be? A pretty powerful thought to end on.